So think forward into the future long enough that we're past this whole thing. It's all done. It's over. We're not in isolation anymore. We're not practicing social distancing, and we all feel good. Sports are sports are happening again. Little leagues are happening again. School is happening again. Education. But so think forward to that point, whenever that is. Hopefully, it's very, very soon. But I want you to imagine that somebody one or two generations behind you comes up to you and says, "Hey, can you tell me about the whole coronavirus thing?" And so you do, and you tell them what it was and what happened, and then they ask you, "Well, were you scared?" And let's imagine you say, "Well, yeah, it was a really scary time." And then let's imagine they ask you, "Well, why?" And then I want you to imagine that you start your sentence with the two words, "Because God." Is there any way to finish that sentence in a way that you feel good about? Because God, I was scared because God wasn't there for me, didn't keep his promise, turned out to not be real. We don't we don't believe any of those things are even possible. But now imagine that they ask you the question about what the coronavirus is, and you tell them. And imagine that they ask you, "Were you scared?" And you say yeah, and then they ask you why. And then you answer the way that I think most people do answer today. Because I didn't know what was going to happen. Because we had never been through anything like this before. Because I lost my job. Because we just didn't know what to do. Boy, the subject of your sentence makes a difference in how you respond to this. And we see that as we look at the Israelites coming up out of Egypt. After they came out of Egypt, after their years of slavery, and just as they were going out into the wilderness on their way to the Promised Land, God had them set up a ceremony that they were to do every single year as a reminder of what had happened. And God said, when your children and your grandchildren, the next generations, ask you, "Why are you doing these things? Why are you dedicating all of this time to worshiping and to sacrificing and to pausing from life and taking a break?" He said, "Be sure to tell them, because the Lord did something really great for us. The Lord did exactly what he promised. The Lord was there, just like he's here now." As you talk about what's going on in our homes and in our community and in our nation and in the world, just an encouragement to pay attention to the subject of the sentence that you use to answer the questions. If you point people's attention to yourself or to us or to how we're doing or what we know or how we're handling it, you won't find too many reasons to feel encouraged. So point them to God. Point them to God. Say, because God is here, and his promises are real, and his love is everlasting, and he's a mighty God. He's a powerful God. He's an able God, able to do things that we can't even imagine. Because God. It's a good rule of thumb, not just as we go through this situation, but really as we go through any situation. When you're talking with anybody who's feeling down about themselves, feeling down about life, and they're looking for reasons to feel encouraged, point them to God. Point them to God. His eternal, everlasting love, hanging on a cross, there for us, even when it hurt the most, to give us a reason for hope and encouragement, even when we hurt the most. Because God is here, and his promises are real. Rest well tonight, my friends. Find comfort and encouragement in God's great promises and his great love. And rest well. We'll see you tomorrow.